Well, hello, gentlefolk of the knitting community. Welcome to the Knitted Wardrobe podcast, episode 3. My name is Jenny, and it is my delight to have you join me on the sofas today. So if you want to grab your hot cold beverage, I have coffee this morning, and want to grab your knitting and pop your feet on the sofa for today's episode, that would be fantastic. Today we are talking all things knitting, yarn, pattern design, pattern release, and also we have some just life comments and some general chat. So if you want some of that in your life, do hang around for the third episode of the Knitted Wardrobe. So today is slightly different already. I know we're only on the third podcast, but this week has seen Jeremy, who is my brother and erstwhile YouTube director and producer, which is his full-time job actually in his day work. I am definitely the the second side hustle for him. But yeah, he has been down with COVID, and so I put it on Instagram. What should I do? I don't do B-rolls, I don't do presets, I vaguely know how to log into Adobe Rush, and I certainly don't do voiceovers. So would you guys like to see a podcast this week and see what I do on the edits and go from there? Or would we like to get Jeremy recovered fully and, skip a week, put it up next week? And 83% of the Instagrammers said, no, it'll be a giggle. Go do your thing. Learn how to edit. So here we are. And thanks for the poll. I actually thought you would give me a week off, but no such thing. So it's Wednesday morning. It's all a bit rainy outside, and I thought today, because it would be slightly easier for my editing skills, to take you along on what we're up to today, and then have a sit down later and have a chat about all things yarn, maybe tomorrow. So today, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have a full packed day. I'm meeting a friend for coffee this morning, and so I'll probably walk into town with the umbrella and just go and meet them for a lovely coffee. And then I'm at the rehab studio, Cornerstone Therapies, where I work, and I'm working there this afternoon. And then this evening I'm meeting Sarah from the Knit Pod, and we're going to have some knitting in the pub. We're going to have a good old chat. She's got some amazing projects going on. So go and follow her at the Knit Pod and see what she's up to, because it's very cool. And yeah, hopefully we can catch up later and we can talk about all the stuff that's going on in the Knitted Wardrobe and the Cornish Paths Sweater release, which is fantastic. But before all of that, I would love to bring you over to my design room, because actually I've had some mail and we need to open it together, because it's from the Knitting Swan and I have been so excited to get this. And so, yeah, come with me into the other room and we can open that together. So this arrived last night when I came back from work, and I was delighted. It's from the Knitting Swan, and Teo has had a fantastic journey with a project bag that she has been designing, and here it is. I haven't seen it yet. I just slit the sellotape for the camera, but let's have a look in. It's so well packaged. Oh, I've been spending so much time at this desk. It's actually quite funny. Let's have a look. Oh, aren't they cute? Lovely stickers. Oh, they're going to go on the journals. Thank you so much. And look, this is it. So, isn't that brilliant? Oh, it's huge. It's so much bigger than I was expecting. That's so good. You can fit a sweater in there. And she's got all the pockets. Oh, and it's so well finished. Oh, I am so happy with that. Oh. And actually, that's right. I have to say that the customer service that she offers is absolutely unbelievable. There was a question I had about how to put my payment through online, and she was on it within like 5 seconds. She was like on it, and yeah, really awesome. So the Knitting Swan. But this project bag, the fabric, Teo's actually been out and had a whole journey on the flower doodle print, And that's what I really wanted to support, apart from having a beautiful yarn bag for my next project design. But she went over to Vietnam and chose the fabric. She's had her illustrations printed onto it, and she makes all of these herself. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this in my life and really happy to support such a wonderful small business. So this isn't sponsored, this isn't an ad. I literally found her on Instagram, followed her story and just thought, yeah, this is not only a beautiful bag, but also a beautiful story. So yes, the next design for the knitted wardrobe will definitely be in this one. And it's just such high quality as well. That fabric is amazing. So yeah, that's my haul for the week, and I'm very happy about it. But yeah, definitely a sweater quantity in there, without a shadow of doubt. And some beautiful stickers, which is an absolute treat. So thank you so much. That's awesome. Gosh, you really know winter is coming when all the side lights are on in the house. It's really grey outside and it's just like 9:15 in the morning. But I'm really happy with my Happy Mail. It's just so good to have that project bag. I'm really happy. And so I'm going to get ready. I'm going to pack my bags. I'm going to go and meet my friend for coffee, and we're going to have a good catch up because it's been absolutely ages. And then I'll probably head straight to the studio after that. And then, yeah, I'm just going to take you along. So hopefully you like this kind of style. I'm still trying to work transitions out, but we'll see what happens with this. You guys really have made me think quite creatively this week. And I never thought I'd be doing anything like this. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for liking, subscribing, doing all the things. I said in my Instagram live on Monday, actually, that I didn't realise until I was this side of the camera what it meant when people just click the like button and supported by subscribing. And really, it does make such a massive difference. I can't tell you what the algorithm does, but on Instagram and YouTube, it just makes this tiny, tiny little business work really, really well. So thank you for that. And yeah, let's get cracking. Woohoo! Well, hello, and it's Thursday afternoon, and I've just got back from the treatment studio and seeing clients, and it was lovely to be with them today and started the day bright and early there. So, thank you for coming on a lovely magical mystery tour yesterday. It was wonderful to meet with my friend for coffee in the morning. Understandably, they didn't want to be on camera, so we just put that away. And then did a bit of work, and then after work I went to see Sarah from the Knit Pod, which was just wonderful to hear all her news. Please do follow her, and also the Knit Lounge, because she's out and talking about it now. She's setting up her own bricks and mortar store in Greyshot, and it opens up in February next year. So last night we were talking about knit nights and yarn she wants to fill her shelves with and all the yummy stuff. So yeah, the leases are going through at the moment, the lawyers are doing their lawyery bits, but we're just talking about yarn, which is fantastic. So she will be online and she will be opening in Surrey soon. So very happy to hear all her news. And also she was knitting the Cornish Paths Sweater, and it was the most surreal thing to see a pattern that I had written, printed off on someone else's printer, on someone else's needles, with their yarn choice. And it was like, it's out in the wild. And she's done such a great job. And we were talking about the fit, and she said, no, I think it's going to fit perfectly. She's done the medium and it's going to work, and just it looks great. She's done it in a tweedy grey and it's just beautiful. Go over to her Instagram and you'll see it there. But I am wearing my version of the Cornish Paths Sweater, and I have to say I'm really happy about it, so I'm going to chat to you now about it. This pattern has been on my kind of like design needles for about 18 months, and there is a video coming out about it on Wednesday next week on launch day, so I will kind of like save the story of it for that one. But suffice to say, this is just my love story to the county that has totally stolen my heart and my mind, and I can't wait to move down there. Very excited actually, because I've just booked this week a long weekend down in Falmouth, midway through January, so hopefully it'll be all dark and stormy, and maybe meet up with some fellow knitters while I'm down there. That would be the dream. But this version is the one that you'll see in all the photo shoots and is the one that's in the pattern. And I knit it for a finished size 40 bust. So let's stand up a bit more. There you go. It's got a 4-inch positive ease, and this beautiful cable goes front and back. And the 4-inch positive ease for me is fantastic, and it's enough to get under a coat, walk along the beach and not feel like you're kind of like too much fabric anywhere. So the sleeves are fitted. The underarm gusset, this diamond shape here, so you increase underneath the armpit, and when you attach the sleeves, you pick up sleeves and you decrease for the gusset here. It creates enough space for you to move around, and actually once it's washed and blocked, the underarm and the chest is fine. And the sleeves are fitted with the lovely double braid down there, with shorter cuffs, so they fit under your walking jackets without getting kind of like thick and bulky with the cuff of the jacket. But yes, this is the 4mm version of the twisted rib as a full neck. And then there's 2 other versions. Sarah last night, she was saying that she's going to choose the one that really kind of like comes down and drapes, where you start with you pick up for the collar on 4.5 and finish with a 5. So it's very different look, which is lovely and kind of like drapey. And actually that was my original one when I did it in the pebble colourway. And it's good. I didn't choose it for this because actually I wanted a higher neck, and underneath the walking jacket that I've got, I wanted to have a closer fit for the neck, so I didn't have to wear a scarf or a cowl underneath, because perimenopause, you just get a bit hot and flustered, and actually this one is enough. So yeah, that was great. But it's been knitted in this beautiful yarn and it's looking really good on camera actually. It's a true teal. It's called the Fern colourway by Jess at Loom Wool, and this is her DK Merino is the suggested yarn for the pattern. And she does small batch dyeing. She's based in Somerset here in England, and I just love it. This particular version, the 40-inch finished chest, took 5 skeins, and I was not playing yarn chicken, even with the really generous kind of like roll neck. I think it would have been 5 skeins bang on if I'd done the full roll neck, which is what the original was. So if you're doing a size 40, then it's 5 skeins of Jess's DK Merino, because, you know, that's just my size. But yes, this is the Fern colourway. I think this is the better option. The Pebble one I loved, and it was a real inspiration for the design, but it just didn't show the braids and the cables and the ribs so much, and the moss stitch got really lost in the speckling. So actually, I think this semi-solid, and I call it a semi-solid because actually, if you see the skein, you can see the variations from the dye pot. But there's definitely lighter strands there, and it really plays just like the waves, and I love it. So yeah, Fern, DK Merino, Just by Loom Wool, love it. So yes, I'm really looking forward to reveal day, or publishing day, which is on Wednesday, which is great. And you'll have a full video with that, and we go into quite a lot of depth about the pattern and modifications on the video that's coming out then. So that's all good. But I thought what would be nice to talk about is some posts that I got today. So yesterday I got my wonderful project bag by the Knitting Swan, and today I got a book. I love the fact that actually creating the knitted wardrobe has just given me an excuse to buy books and yarn, which I'm not mad about actually. I think that's quite cool, so I'm good with that. So I don't know how many of you got the original alternate Stitch Dictionary a while ago. I love it, and it's by Andrea Rangel, and this has been, as you can see, just used a lot. I have post-it notes with ones that I really love, and it is still a really good stitchery for colour work, and I would definitely rate this hands down. I think it's a really awesome one. But then a few years later, our itch was scratched, because actually she's got another 150 in Knitivation, which came out last month, I think. We've all been waiting for it, and it is beautiful. And I was reading it while flicking through over lunch, and I just love what she's done. She's done a really good job of highlighting different yarn suggestions for the colour working. Really lovely to see a well thought out kind of like, what are people going to be using it for? What are they going to be doing with it? And she also goes through the different types of wool that you can use. And she's very clear with the fact that she prefers knitting in the round and steeking, which I have to say I'm a very big fan of when you're doing colour work. And as she calls it, the public facing, or the right side of your work, is always looking at you. You don't have to worry with purling with your colour work, and it's just a really good thing to do. But she does really make the point, which I was glad to read about, that if you're going to go away from the raw wools, the sheepy sheep wools, the Shetland wools, and go into kind of like superwash or bamboo or something that's really slippy, like say a merino, then steeking is not for you, and you need to find an alternate version of how to do colour work if you're going to do any kind of like cutting away. So if you're doing a cardigan, for example, you don't want to steek with something that's slippy. So I think that was the only proviso that she made, which was great. I'm totally in love with actually the first page, which is the leaf page. And just the Canada and the maples and just the leaves, the aspens and the daisies. I love the aspens. I really want to get that on my needles soon. So yeah, from the first page, I have to say I was really inspired. As a designer, the only thing that I was a little concerned with was that where is it? Like surf, which is a beautiful design, actually is something that I had been working on, incredibly similar version of it, for a colourwork pattern for myself, and with an idea to design with it for next year. And because it's public, you've now got 350 colourwork motifs that you can kind of like go up and knit for yourself, which is great. And what I love about Knittivation is that it tells you how to do a yoked raglan top-down sweater and how to graft that for yourself, which is wonderful. And if you've been following me at all on Instagram and here on YouTube, you'll know that I'm very keen for people to be designing their own knitwear, because I think everybody can do it, given a bit of graph paper and some maths with a gauge swatch. I think it is something that makes knitting incredibly liberating as an art form, which I'm all for. But because the patterns have been published now by Penguin, the copyright for them and how to do that is something that could become an issue. And there's now 350 motifs that you would have to vary it, even, it's like there's a bit of a question in my head. So incredibly happy to have it. And for my own private knits, I will definitely be using it. But I think for me, myself, and my tech editor, there will have to be a conversation about where we kind of like put it's not basic pattern, but it's now a published pattern. And when you're using something like this as a filler or something on your pattern, I think it's going to be an interesting discussion point for having books like this. Saying that, we have Stitchenaries for kind of like cables and braids and pearls and bobbles and all the rest of it. So it really is an interesting space to be in, isn't it? Where you kind of go, well, what is copywritten as a pattern? So the pattern that I have written for the Cornish Paths Sweater, that's going to be trademarks, and the construction of it is something that is very personal to me. I can't lay claim to moss stitch. That would be ridiculous. But we know how moss stitch is constructed. So where does that lie? But I think when it comes to design for colour work, that may be a bit more of an in-depth question, but one that I'm very happy to have. And if you've got any comments, please do put it in the comments. Just be kind, we're all cool here. Hang out and be lovely. But yeah, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts. But definitely a conversation I'll be having with Rachel Press, my tech editor, and see where we go from there. So yes, that's it really. Now we're going to talk about the work in progress, which is the Girl's Best Friend shawl. Let's get cracking with that, shall we? Ooh. So over the last 2.5 weeks, I think, I cast on Isabel Kramer's The Girl's Best Friend shawl, and I have been looking forward to getting it on my needles for a very long time. If you want the pattern, go to Loop of London, and it's definitely there. I checked it this morning, and you can definitely purchase it and download from Loop of London. But yes, A Girl's Best Friend shawl is what we're talking about now, and obviously linked below. And I'm using Beth's Telling Yarns, and this is in Kia Moran. This is Tyrex's, and the one that I'm working on at the moment is Dreamfire. So I think I said it last time, they're kind of like the winter version of my summer wardrobe, which is kind of like the sea foams, the pinks, the light greys. They've just gone a bit darker and a bit moodier. And here it is in all its shawl glory. And I think I said on Instagram Live this week, I'm very happy with it. It's going to be huge. And I have to say, if it wasn't on such dreamy yarn, because it's just delicious. I mean, I just can't fault the yarn at all. It's so soft. There's no itch factor. It's just beautiful. It's 100% British wool, and I think it's spun by John Arbon for Beth at Telling Yarns. I may be wrong, but that's what I saw on her Instagram stories. If it wasn't such a lovely yarn to use, I probably would have put it into the naughty corner, because it's not something that you can take with you and knit very easily in the pub. I got to Busy Row 7, which is now what it's called in my head, for the teardrop section, which is going to be beautiful when it's all blocked and washed and gorgeous. It's just going to be amazing. But Busy Row 7 is, you really have to keep your eye on it, and if you mess up, you just tinking back over 400 stitches is not something that I want to do. So yes, I have to be quite careful when I take it out and what I'm listening to or watching when I'm knitting it. And this section, the teardrops, it's going to be, I think, 3 times that width. So there's a lot of row 7. It's a big part of the repeats. And so it's going to be a really long shawl. It's going to be great. I'm going to love it, but I'm not even halfway through. So hopefully I can chunk through this in the next couple of weeks, because I'm actually quite busy with kind of like pattern releases and everything else. So my aim over the next 2 weeks is to finish this section and then get on to the next pink section, so the Tyrex colourway. And then hopefully I'll just have bobbles to do, which will be painful, I'm not going to lie. Bobbles are a pain in the ass. So yes, and then we're on to a really nice kind of like rib section with the grey Kia Moran colour, which actually is the thing that's getting me through at the moment. I'll just pick up that one actually. I really love this colourway, and I think for actually the middle of winter it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be the big chunky chunk bit at the bottom of the shawl. So I think when it's wrapped up around me, it's going to be absolutely beautiful next to the pink and the green. So hopefully we'll get that going soon. So yeah, what else is on my needles? Absolutely nothing. I've been playing around with some of the raw wool for just some sample swatches and some design ideas, but I have tried to keep my needles pretty free of my own mental inspiration. I have a design that's coming out in springtime, and I'm really looking forward to kind of like getting it on the needles and kind of like sampling it out and working through how I'm going to put it all together. So getting my play yarn out will be great fun. But yeah, I think for at the moment, I just want to keep it in that kind of like section of kind of like still thinking about it. There's a lot of doodling on the back of receipts and envelopes and stuff, and trying to work out how to construct it to lay really beautifully over someone's body. So there's lots of thought behind it, but there's not on the needles yet. And actually that's the bit I love the most. I was in a store yesterday and I saw a mug, and I actually took a photo of it, and it's just like, that's exactly the shape I want, as part of the design was on this mug, and it was just like, yes. And having a free mind of any pattern that I'm doing currently or working on allows me to see things very differently. So there's a specific seashell that is on my bathroom sink, And I've had it there for years. I saw it with fresh eyes last night and I thought, oh, that would be a really interesting kind of like, it was just the way that the shell was rippled. I thought, oh, those ripples are really beautiful. I wonder if you could get that in a rib somehow. So my mind is quite free and easy at the moment, and I'm in a really good space for that. And that means that I can design without any clutter. And busy row 7 is just kind of like busy row 7 on a shawl that I'm just really enjoying knitting at the moment. And that's great. So I think there's a balance sometimes. I was talking to Maria, Wild Knits Glasgow, on DMs the other day, and I said, I just feel really out of place on this space sometimes. I don't knit enough. And there's amazing podcasters. And guys, I don't know how you churn out so much knitting. There must be a lot of meetings on Zoom going on still, because I don't know how you find the time. Between kind of like full-time work with clients, trying to get some exercise in, seeing friends, speaking to my family, kind of like trying to make the dinner and all the rest of it, I can feel overwhelmed with the amount of knitting I see happening on my feed. And Maria was just going, you're enough, it doesn't matter. And really digging into that deeply this week. It's like, I can't actually design if I'm constantly knitting. I need to step away from the needles and have a clear mind. So when I come back to the design space, which is my happy place, and design something I want to wear and want to share with all of you, then I think that's a good thing. So if you need to hear, I don't know who needs to hear that. I certainly myself needed to hear that this week from Maria. So thank you, Maria. But yeah, just to work out what you're knitting for. And if you're knitting for social media, maybe have a rethink on that one. And especially if it's something that you really enjoy as an art form and you express yourself through your needles, make sure that it's filling you and not draining you. So there's my like health and safety tip for the week. So what's happening in the next week? Well, let's have a look, shall we? So in the next week, of course, we have the Cornish Paths Sweater going live on Wednesday, which is unbelievable. So you can go and pre-order that on theknittedwardrobe.com. Very excited to kind of like get that going. I saw the schematics yesterday. They've been finalised and ticked off. And Rachel's done an amazing job at making it look really organic whilst giving all the information, which she's really good at. And also we decided to have it kind of like overseen by another tech editor, because I think 6 eyes are better than 4, which are way better than my 2. So Debs is doing that yesterday and today, so that's great. So it should be all going into InDesign over the weekend. I can have lots of pots of tea and get that sorted, so we can upload on Wednesday. And I just want to thank everybody who has been involved with this journey. It wouldn't be going live without a massive team behind it. It's just incredible. And every time you purchase the pattern, every time you kind of like and subscribe, every time you bless this channel with your amazing happy vibes, it really helps not just me, but actually we've got kind of like Jeremy, our producer for YouTube, we've got Rachel, our editor, we've got Debs, our oversee editor at the moment, we've got 2 graphic designers coming on team as well. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are financially supported through this, and it's just such a great freelance team to work with. And all the test knitters who are phenomenal. And from the next pattern release, we are actually going to offer yarn support for a closed group of 5 knitters, and then we're going to do an open test knit for anybody who wants to join who is okay with not having yarn support. So we're trying to work out how we can support as many people as we can, whilst keeping the business kind of like coherent and peaceful and, you know, ticking along. So that's all good. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the community. Apart from the pattern, which I firmly believe in and I love wearing, and I can't wait to see it on other people's needles because it gave me such a thrill to see it on Sarah's last night. But I do really love the community, and if there's one thing that's come out of the last 5 months that I'm the most pleased about, it's meeting you guys and just enjoying that. And also learning how to step into my space and my design feed and not worrying about the fact that I don't look lost in the woods with a load of presets. And actually my vibe is clear, big skies, beach, kind of like almost, just free and easy. And it really reflects the lifestyle that I enjoy, which is usually outside. I love climbing, I love surfing, I love sea kayaking, I love being on the cliffs, I love just being in nature and that big wide expanse with either stormy seas or calm seas or something in the middle. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's my little kind of like rant about just the joy of it all, actually, the just sheer joy of all of this. And yeah, I think not knitting so much lately has been actually a real blessing to get my headspace back into that. So we have that on Wednesday. We also have Instagram Live on Monday, and we have the journal coming out as well. So if you want to be in touch with us through Instagram, through the journal newsletter that comes to your emails, however you want to communicate, that's great. Can't wait. So good. Love being in touch. So after all of that, I am really busy with Cornerstone Therapies, my rehab studio, and then I'm actually taking a week off. I'm not working for a week, which will be fantastic. I think I need to have some time to just, go to the beach, read a book, drink coffee, see some friends, and catch up with life. So I'm looking forward to that, and that will be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. And my shoulders will drop because I've got a massage booked as well, which would be great. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good couple of weeks. I am really excited to find out what's on your needles, apart from the Cornish Paths Sweater, obviously. I can't wait to find out what you're doing. There's a lot of joy around gift knitting that I'm seeing going around. So people are casting on sweaters for Christmas. It's like, I would have started in August personally, but you go you. So yeah, Irene from the Woolly Wool has been doing like amazing work for her family. Incredible cable sweaters for her whole crew. So it's been good to see that. There's been a lot of shawls going on. Obviously, Stephen West, the knit along there, I think he came out with his final clue today or yesterday. So that's been fun to watch. One day I will probably buy all the yarn, get the pattern and not do it. But it's great seeing other people do it. I really enjoyed following everybody at Rhinebeck. Oh my word. I was saying to Sarah, maybe in a couple of years' time, I can put Rhinebeck on the business expenses and kind of like go and drink warm cider and eat donuts on the hill. And it's just like, oh, my heart would be full. So for everybody who had a good time there, I'm really glad that the rain wasn't so bad. It didn't look too bad actually for autumn. And it looks so family friendly, just seeing all the families out there, all the kind of knitting groups who have gone there and kind of like made it their kind of like weekend retreat with girlfriends, and kind of like there was a couple of sisters that had gone over, and I cannot remember who they were, I'm so sorry, but they live kind of like other ends of the country from each other, and they had both flown into Rhinebeck, and it was just lovely. And apart from all the llamas and alpacas and warm cider, so yeah, all good. And also Glasgow School of Yarn had their wonderful festival and meetup this weekend. And here in the UK, we were we were just coming out at the end of Storm Babette. And I know a lot of people were kind of like flooded, lost power, really hard to get to, but everybody there looked like they were having a great time. So hopefully next year I may get up there. which I would love to do actually, and just go and see the Scottish guys and see what they're up to. They had I don't know if it is their logo, but they used the Macintosh rose as part of their logo for this year's promotional. And I just love, if you, any kind of like Art Deco Macintosh design, and then the Glasgow School of Yarn in that very eidetic kind of like typeface. It was just, whoever did the marketing on that, all power to you. You did a wonder. So yes, it was good to see the festivals going on and seeing everybody enjoy a load of fibre and a load of yarn, which, makes life very happy. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for being here and being part of the mini vlog from yesterday. I think that may become a thing. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. It's all a bit fluid here at the Knitted Wardrobe. We're still trying to find our place. I'm still trying to find my pace. But yeah, it would be great to hear from you and see what you're doing and get in touch. So I'm going to sign off here and leave you to it. Thank you so much for being part of this time together. I hope your knitting has been good. I hope your frogging is rare. And I look forward to seeing you next time for the 4th episode of the Knitted Wardrobe. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.